Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Two Bro Brokers. I am Josh and with me as always is my co-host Daniel Craig.
Yes, here we are. We are in sunny Dubai. We are outside drinking a pint at Kickers. Give me a cheers, Josh. Good to see you again.
Cheers Daniel, good to see you. How are things, mate?
Things are... I always want to say same shit, different day.
Yep.
But whenever I go into office, there's certain bullshit things that I can guarantee on a consistent basis. But there are changes, and the changes are in potential. There are a few things that we're working towards that are just in that back burner,
right.
That are just slowly coming to fruition. What seems possible now might not be possible in the future, but
yep.
You know, we've started certain projects that I'm involved with different landlords, and things are looking good for the future, provided they actually happen.
Mate, that's exciting.
But yeah, there's a few exciting things going on. Projects, retail centres, potential plots that haven't been developed yet, and other things. I'll keep them quiet for now. But yeah, and how was your first full week?
First full week? Yeah, it was good, thank you, mate. Yeah, it's nice being employed again, that's for sure.
You're wearing your nice white shirt. You're officially a white collar again.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of I don't know what you wear before.
T-shirt.
T-shirt.
Grandad collar, is that a thing?
You know, your ex-boss has been calling me recently.
Hey, have you answered the phone?
No.
Oh, mate.
I don't know what to say.
Just call him back now.
No.
Oh, come on. Come on, let's just see what he's got to say.
I've been pretty busy, so I didn't answer at those busy times, but I've been thinking I could call him, but I can't.
Give him a call back. Do it on the podcast, live. You can hear the narcissist. No, you can't do that. You can't record him without
I think we should delete what you just said as well.
Huh? No, I don't give a fuck. But give him a call after this.
Alright, okay.
I'm intrigued to see what he's got to say. No, first week of employment is good. It's nice being back at a proper company. Mate, yeah, nothing to complain about. Learning the ropes, doing lots of training and stuff. Enjoying it, mate.
Good.
How was your book going? Oh, that well, yeah?
It never gets old to you, does it?
It's never going to, no.
I told you not to say that.
The book about discipline. I know you did, that's why I said it, I'd forgotten. No, but how's your month going?
It's the same as it was last week and the week before, to be honest.
Yeah. What are you on the board for this month?
I'm closing a second deal with a pretty large company. It's the first time I've done a deal with this landlord. They do pay commission,
okay.
Not to everyone, but they've agreed to give me a brokerage agreement with them next month.
Okay,
which means
nice.
that they will give me a 5%. Right now they're going to give me 3%. It's for rent.
Okay.
3% is pretty low, so I'm not ecstatic about it, but
it's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. So yeah, that's a big one too. Probably about 45k on the board.
That's not bad.
It could have been 75, so I'm not ecstatic about it.
It's still $5,000 sterling though, mate. It's not bad
I'm
for
not
a month.
complaining, but it could have been so much better.
No, I hear you.
Anyway,
I think you mentioned a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week, that you were like pitching for some villas. How did that go? Or is going?
I wasn't pitching for the villas. That was a few weeks back. There was a corner plot in the Sakim area that is very well located, like the best exposure you could imagine. And yeah, we pitched that ages ago with the owner of the company.
Yeah.
He's got about 7 villas, but we're planning on bringing in one client who can take over the whole project. Insane, and just make it theirs. So we're looking right now, after capex contributions, in the region of about 5 million dirhams in rent for that project alone per year.
Fucking hell.
Possibly more, depending on how the deal works out, but that also includes paying back certain capex. It's exciting, man. It's on the back.
That sounds huge to me.
It's quite hard to push these deals across, just because, I don't know, both parties don't have the full information of the other. you've really got to mash them together and force them to work with each other, because they're both as busy as each other. They're so busy. And that's what being a broker is, like fucking making something that sounds like a pipe dream and that might be amazing, and actually making it happen.
Making it reality. Yeah. I like that. Okay, fair enough, mate. Yeah, was there anything else?
We were going to start with this, to be honest, today, and it's biggie back to the max in Dubai, and I don't pay tax. Wrong. You do fucking pay tax now.
I don't know if we're going to keep that in. That was shit.
We do pay tax now.
Shit.
Corporate tax has been announced in Dubai, 9% for all you corporates out there. It was active and initiated as per the 1st of June.
Oh, right, okay.
Or was it the 9th? I don't care. The fact of the matter is, we're now in mid-June and you better have registered, so...
But break it down for me, because I don't understand anything about corporate tax, right? What does it mean on a basic level?
On a basic level?
Yeah.
Before, when you were working and you're making profits, you were not charged any VAT for those profits.
When you say you mean a business owner?
A business would never have been charged for those profits.
Right, okay.
Now they're being charged 9%.
On any amount of profit?
Over the amount of 375,000 per annum.
Which isn't a lot, to be fair.
It's not that much.
That's what, 60 grand sterling, something like that?
But I think people in Dubai need to look into if having real estate income is classed as business per se. For residential, obviously, there's no tax involved in terms of VAT, value added tax.
So if I'm a private landlord and I'm renting out my property, I don't have to pay tax.
True, yes.
But if I've got loads of properties and
you're
I decided
earning over
to make
375,000 per year, then you need to, and most likely should, look into it.
Right.
And it goes with commercial as well.
Okay.
They should be registered with tax anyway, but with regards to paying corporate tax, they should look into it immediately.
Got ya.
So yeah, it changes things. People should take note, start realising they've got to pay 9%. I wonder what kind of feedback they'll get after the first fiscal year.
So why do you think this has been brought in now?
It's still one of the lowest there are.
Okay. What is it compared to, like, the UK, for example? What's the corporate tax in the UK?
Bro, I don't even know anymore. Mate, there's this anywhere between 15 and 30, 25, maybe more. But then you've also got, there's corporate tax, and then there's like local tax.
Right. Like a
local trade tax, which is, for example, I do business in the UK. Right, corporate tax.
Yeah.
I do business in Glasgow City, local trade tax.
Fucking hell. And then you pay rates on your offices, then you've got income tax, you've got VAT, so you're being taxed left, right and centre, whereas here it is just corporate tax, flat rate, 9%.
Yeah.
That's it.
It seems that way, yeah.
Interesting, mate. Well, so, yeah, again, why do you think they've brought it in now? Why do you think this is happening? What's the government's long-term goal?
Well, for example, right, this is a good one. In JVC, you've got no pavements, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if JVC was Glasgow, right, and Glasgow didn't have fucking pavements,
yeah,
people would be like, fuck the council, man.
Yeah.
I can't even walk in the fucking pavements. I am pissed off. I've got to walk to work. Now, fair enough, JVC only has like 1 or 2 office buildings.
But still.
But they've got shops, they've got other places, whatever, amenities. People walk if they live in JVC, right?
Yeah,
now,
definitely.
Nikhil, the developer of that,
yep,
would charge local trade tax to those businesses within JVC.
And use that.
This is the difference, right? Local trade tax, this is what local trade tax is.
Yeah.
Like, the money that goes to that local area would then contribute to that local area in terms of its councils.
Yep.
Like, I am in the council of JVC. I'm in the Glasgow council.
Yeah.
And then they put money into, like, we need a park for the kids. We'll put some funding in there.
Fine,
we need some funding for the school. We'll put some, you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
But they don't have that over here. It's just purely corporate tax.
Right. Okay.
So that, I think that goes, it's a different entity. It goes straight to the government.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah. Aye, so it goes straight to the government instead of like local areas or whatever. So that's the difference between corporate tax and local trade tax.
Which wasn't the question I asked, but thank you for answering.
What was the question?
What are they going to do with this corporate tax?
Fucking build a second Burj Khalifa. I don't know. Something.
Oh mate, have you seen Benghazi, who have been commissioned to do the tallest building it's going to beat the Burj, have also just teamed up with Bugatti,
Okay.
the cars, to build a residential tower. Bugatti, yeah. That'd be quite sick. I would like to live in a Bugatti apartment, to be fair.
Alright, okay. Well, fair enough,
That
man.
would be quite mad. So okay, fair enough.
So we've covered corporate tax.
Covered corporate tax.
It's a bit about the news, so we're going to go into the second topic. Josh, do you want to kick us off for this one?
Are we still in the news?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about it.
Oh yeah, we've got to mention it because it's topical and keywords and stuff. It'll boost up our ratings and shit. The Titanic missing submarine, mate. That's mad. How do you lose a submarine? Come on.
You would have thought that they would have GPS on it and stuff, right?
I just don't get it, man.
Some form of tracker.
If
But
I lose my phone in the middle of a field and it runs out of battery, I can still find it.
Can you?
Yeah, there'll be find friends, last location, all that sort of shit. But a submarine with 5 people in it has gone missing. That's insane.
Yeah. And I saw a funny video. It's not funny, but it's kind of humorous.
Quite ironic, I think.
Yeah. It's like the billionaire dude signing off the papers before he got in it, and he was like, "Oh, I might die. Conditions about this and this and this," and he goes, "Don't mind if I do," and then signed the papers. And I was just, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Last footage, and you've just looked like an absolute.
Talk about tempting fate, yeah.
Yeah.
The bit, right? So sort of in line with Dubai, right? Dubai is brilliant. However, they're very good at construction with regulations that maybe aren't quite adhered to, right?
Okay.
This submarine, apparently it's now come out, hasn't been certified, hasn't been signed off, should not be in use, is dangerous. You know, so you lie down in the submarine, all 5 of you.
Yeah, because
then
it's
they
only.
seal you in from the outside. So even if they're floating on the surface somewhere,
They
right?
might still run out of air unless they
Mate,
sledgehammer them.
fucking hell, it's insane. Why would you get in a thing like that?
Well, there's a lot of rich people in that sub.
Yeah, I think they're all rich. I think it's something like 200,000
Your pal's in
pounds.
a project, right? He's got like $1 billion pounds. You'd think he'd fucking spend the money on making sure. But he's done the trip 100 times.
Is it quite a lot? Yeah.
He's done it a few times, and then he was like, "Oh, come on, guys, jump in."
Fuck this shit. Fuck this.
See if you won the lottery and you got a submarine, and you're like, "Dan, it's fucking. I'm gonna go see the Titanic. Do you want to come?" I'd be like, "Sounds like a good expedition, Josh, but." Let me see.
Who did you buy this submarine from?
Let me see
where
this,
did you get
let
this?
me see this tank, and then you hand me a contract and see if I
Because you're
die.
probably gonna die.
And then I'll be like, "Are you fucking serious, Josh? You can't guarantee my survival here. I know we're pals, but fuck you." Do you know what I mean?
To be fair, if you do skydiving, you sign a waiver that says
Of
you will
course you do.
probably die.
But
So
that's
what's
a-
the difference?
That's a practice that's been done all over the world, you know, and you don't need, you're not, I mean, you're relying on parachutes that are videotaped being rolled up into bags before you jump off a plane. The plane is serviced, the parachutes are serviced, the people are well trained, and you're on someone's back who knows what they're fucking doing.
And you've got a backup chute,
Yeah.
you've got all this sort of stuff going on.
So
yeah.
you've got automatic reserves. Do you know what I mean? That come out if your other parachute, malfunctions. It's not like a submarine where you go to the bottom of the pits or the fucking depths of the ocean, and then you find out that oh shit, there's no backup generator, so we can't get back up.
Right, here's a question. There's 5 of you stuck in this pod, right? This is completely hypothetical, by the way. There's 5 of you stuck in this pod, and you've got 2 hours of oxygen left. However, if there's only 1 of you in that pod, you've got 10 hours of oxygen
Okay.
left. Do you kill the other 4?
No.
Really? You just go out? That's it, you're just done?
Right, because if you do get resurfaced after 10 hours and you're alive, but there's fucking 4 dead bodies, they're going to be like, what happened here? Oh, they just choked themselves to death.
I'm sure there's something about international waters and there's no law, or, you know, you've done it out of survival. I'm sure there's probably some leeway there.
Nah, bro, you're a dick.
No, yeah, you're a dick.
Or you come out and
but
everyone...
you survive.
No, you'd get shot or something
Yeah.
afterwards. No way, man.
Not to extend your chances of survival.
The most I would do is be like, right guys, if we're going to die in an hour, let's take some deep breaths and try and swim up.
Yeah, but you can't get out. You're sealed in. You're also 3,500 metres or some shit
And you won't
underneath the
float
ground.
because it's so heavy.
It's so, and apparently if you come up too quickly, like the pressure will blow your mind or something. Yeah, I don't think it would be possible to swim out.
Anyway, just leave it, I guess. Who knows what will happen in the next 10 hours.
Yeah, because you find out on Thursday, didn't you? Yeah. Mate, that's some scary shit though, isn't it? That's some proper scary shit. Right, before we came, yesterday or something like that, bless you mate, I was watching YouTube and an advert came up for this scientifically approved alternative for, you know, cotton buds that you clean your ears with. I think they're called Q-tips or something like that, right?
Cotton buds.
And the advert is this guy that's dressed like a doctor, and it says Dr. blah 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 like that, and he's going, do you know how bad conventional Q-tips are to use? And then he does it and he goes, it just pushes the wax deeper. It's so dangerous, it's banned in the UK. I've gone, oh, I don't
is
think
it banned
this
in
is
the
true.
UK?
Yes, I googled it. It is banned in the UK, but not because it's too dangerous, because it's plastic.
Yeah.
So you now have to buy wooden ones.
And people
shit.
flush them down the toilets.
But mate, how bad is that? This is a doctor misinforming us on an advert so that we buy a different product.
Did you see this on an Instagram reel or something?
An advert on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
Yeah, but that's bollocks, do you know what I mean? Flat out saying it's too dangerous, it's banned in the UK, and it's not factual at all.
It's just the bollocks that you see, mate.
Mate, it's nonsense, right? I was like shocked. This is a doctor, or a doctor in air quotes, saying this. Fuck off, what are you talking about?
I went out one night and bashed my head off the ground.
Oh, I've seen the video, it's on YouTube.
And I went to the doctors and they told me I had a hangover.
Which, to be fair, you probably did.
I didn't. I didn't, because it happened on Saturday, Sunday passed, and then it's Monday.
Oh shit, so it's 2 days later.
Yeah, and I went there and I was like, just absolutely zoned out, man.
Probably with a concussion.
No, I was just trying not to do any sudden movements and stress myself. Even I had to wait 30 minutes to see the doctor.
Fucking hell.
I was getting angry. I was like, I'm not angry. This is just what happens all the time. Like, trying to accept things. And yeah, she told me I had a hangover. She calls me up the week later and she goes, how's your head? I said, oh, sore. But it's fine now. She goes, oh, what do you think was the problem? I said, well...
You're a doctor, you tell me.
I definitely had some form of mild concussion or something. She goes, oh, we should have had an x-ray.
Fucking
and I said,
hell.
Yeah, we should have fucking had an x-ray, but you told me I had a hangover and I just went home because you were stressing me out. And I didn't want to be stressed, so I went home.
Fucking hell.
She's like, oh, sorry about that. Well, next time, yeah, just let me know and blah, blah. I'm like, no fucking way. I'm glad I had medical insurance for that place, because if I didn't...
Would have been a hefty bill.
Damn.
Jesus, man.
Anyway, let's move on. Cotton buds, who gives a fuck?
It's just interesting. What have you put here? Incest.
Interest.
Alright.
Because you wanted to talk about the UK.
Oh, yeah, this is my one. Yeah, so announced today, the interest rates in the UK are staying the same. It's something like 8.7, despite inflation rising still, right? So basically what that means is that the cost of living crisis isn't getting any better, because for stuff like any loans you have, any credit cards, any mortgages, anything like that, you're paying more, as well as goods going up, right? So your cost of living and stuff. So I just wanted to bring it up. It got announced in the news today, obviously, but is one of the good things about Dubai, is that it's not, if you, depending on what lifestyle you want to live, it's not that fucking expensive out here, man. Like, okay, we're paying £7 for a pint right now, but if I was like, right, I've spent my monthly budget on these pints, I now need to go home and eat, I can go to Viva and I can get like a week's worth of shopping. I know it's not quality food, I get that, but it is a supermarket, it's all still stamped and signed and stuff like this, and I could eat for a week on 200 dirhams, which is about 40 quid. I can get chicken, I can get rice, I can get pasta, I can get beef. Cost of living out here is becoming cheaper than the UK, I reckon.
Do you want to hear something funny?
No.
So, someone I know recently got a villa in Emar South.
Okay, yeah.
He's got a garden, but there's no grass in the garden.
Yeah.
It's just sand.
So you've got to landscape it, yeah.
So, back in wherever country is normal, you'd be like, right, I better get some grass in there. Okay, so you shovel up the dirt, you manage to put it somewhere, and you put in fresh dirt, and you put in some seeds and water it. You know, in Dubai, in this project, he was told that he's not allowed to do that. In fact, he needs a certified contractor to come in and do it for him. Money.
Yeah.
There are so many examples of shit like this that really piss me off.
I hear you.
You need to pay for everything. Don't sit and tell me that the living expenses over here are cheap. Listen, actually the produce that you buy in all these supermarkets, I'm sorry to disagree with you like
no,
this.
it's fun.
But
I know.
They're all so much more expensive than most countries I've ever been to.
Yeah,
they're so much more expensive.
I don't know.
They are, bro.
I don't know
They
that's
are.
true. I don't know
You
that's
pay
true.
for a fucking sandwich at a normal corner shop like £3 pounds.
Yeah.
For like a cheese and ham sandwich.
That's probably
Are
about
you
right in the
shitting me?
UK
No,
now.
it's not.
I bet it
No, it's
fucking is.
not.
I bet it
No, it's
fucking
not.
is.
You can get meal deals for like £3.50.
Not anymore, mate. Not anymore. It's like £4 now.
Who gives a fuck? But what I'm trying to say is, in the heart of London city centre, if you're paying £3 for a basic cheese and ham sandwich, then you know that's pretty expensive.
No, I would say that's. I worked in London. It's about £3 for a sandwich. And also, I'd just like to point out, I could go to
You're
Waitrose.
missing the point.
I'm
Anyway.
not missing the point. No, let's keep it on sandwiches for a second. I can go to Waitrose right now and get an 8 dirham and 50 fil sandwich.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Coronation chicken, cheese and onion, hummus and carrot. There's a few different options. I do it every day because it's the cheapest way to eat. But you can, 8 dirhams and 50 fils, which is about £1.50.
No, it's not. It's about £2.
No, it's cheaper than £2.
It's £2.
Well, the exchange rate is 4.69 at the minute. Do some quick maths.
How much dirhams?
8.50. Please stand by whilst we Google.
182.
There you go. Less than £2. That's cheaper than most London places.
Who has a hummus sandwich? Are you
Right,
serious?
cheese and onion, delicious. Coronation chicken, delicious. I think it was carrot and hummus.
But
not
right,
cheese.
then you'll look at the bread and it'll have like emulsifiers in it and all that bullshit.
No, it's Waitrose. What are you talking about? It's the same as the UK.
Whatever you say, boss.
You
Anyway,
can. No, let's keep on it for a minute.
No, because I want to finish my fucking point.
I apologise. Go
You
on.
go to any shops, yeah? They are just as, or if not, much more than the UK. Don't give me that bollocks.
I'm not saying it's cheaper than the UK.
And
I'm
every
saying
time-
it's gonna be cheaper than
There,
the UK.
there are days in the UK where you can leave the house and not spend a fucking penny.
Yes. You can't do
When
that.
was the
here, I
last
agree.
day you left the house and didn't spend any?
Couldn't tell you.
Right.
But it's not that hard to do.
Do you have to pay to send your kids to primary school in the UK?
No.
Right, okay. So you do over here and it costs a fucking fortune.
Yeah. Yeah, but you will find probably that more people are opting
And you'll
for...
find that because there's so many privatised schools over here, that your kids will probably learn fuck all. Because the teachers are... how many teachers have you met out here?
A few, and
They're not the
all-
smartest bunch, are they?
They're not, no. They're not, to be fair. No.
And they get fucking wasted on the weekends. They have a brilliant time over here, mate. Fucking hell. I actually considered being a teacher.
Fucking hell.
Because I thought, how hard is it to get just a fucking learning course?
Certificate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know.
But I would say I now have a lot of friends that have finished in uni, they've done their teacher courses, and they're now starting to be teachers. They're always on the lash every weekend, and they're wearing, you know, their skimpy outfits and stuff. I look at like some of my friends that are teachers now, and I was like, fuck me, like if I stumbled across your Instagram as a child whilst you were my teacher, my mind would be blown. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, the teachers that I had...
It's a different generation, geezer.
That'd be so interesting. Anyway, moving on.
Moving swiftly on. Go on, lad.
But I guess we got a few things to talk about in today's... it usually does take us quite a bit of time to get through the news, if you'd call it that.
We have dragged it out this week as well because we don't have that much to talk about.
We always drag it out. Anyway,
mate, well, fucking hell.
I wanted to talk about...
Can I get a Pepsi or Coke, please? Thank you.
I'll have a Tiger, though, please. Miss Johnson. So...
Yeah, you wanted to talk about...
I wanted to talk about tax because we've spoken about it today already.
Yeah.
We talked about corporate tax, right? So I wanted to talk about value-added tax.
Yeah.
In general. Now, I do commercial real estate, as you know by now, I'm sure. And there's a practice in Dubai that a lot of brokers are not aware of. It just goes on. It's independent landlords with commercial properties, at least 50 to 60, 70% of the time, are not tax registered.
Fucking hell.
They should be. And the tenants who take on small office spaces with these independent landlords aren't tax registered either. But me, as a guy who thinks, right, this is a commercial property and I'm a broker, when I first started, I was leasing offices and I said to the tenants, yeah, you better pay VAT in this because it's a commercial property. Small office, tiny. And they'd be like, oh, what? Never heard of that. And they'd pay value-added tax in the thing, or they would call it value-added tax.
Yeah.
It was actually just an extra 5% because the landlord didn't tell me if he was tax registered or not. And he's getting an extra 5% and he doesn't give a shit. And he doesn't think someone's going to come knocking at his door later on. So I've had a deal recently where I've looked heavily into value-added tax and the Federal Tax Authority in Dubai.
Right.
And it turns out that if you're buying or selling or renting or leasing commercial property, get fucking tax registered. Like, seriously. Yes, it's not an urgent requirement for the... It's not necessarily an urgent requirement in most circumstances, but someone could come knocking at your door one day.
Yeah. And they probably will, knowing Dubai, I would say.
In this particular case, usually if the seller of a property, commercial property, is not VAT registered, then they won't be able to issue a tax invoice.
Right.
Therefore, the buyer is like, right, so I'm not paying tax on this one, I guess. Well, the buyer should, in their own time, go to FTA and pay themselves.
Right, okay.
Directly.
Okay.
Or they can do it online as well, after the property's been transferred.
Yeah.
But this is something that, you know, it's taken a year or something, 2 years or whatever, and I'm like, fucking hell. You know, I did the RERA exam.
Yes.
3 times. Well, I passed it on my first time, but
right.
My colleagues were doing it as well, and they're like, Dan, you passed it. Shit, help us out, please. Okay. And yeah, thank you very much. I did it 3 times.
Yeah.
And not one single time did I see any question about VAT.
Yeah.
I didn't see any question about tax in general. Nothing at all. So
because it's such a new concept?
Yeah, no, man. Like, it's been standard for fuck knows. But then it comes to the point where it's like my buyer at the time was like, Dan, what the fuck do I do? And I said this. I said, listen, here's a document with the FTA. Yes, you should pay VAT. I'm not going to advise you to pay it because I am not a tax advisor.
Yeah.
I am not a registered tax agent. I am a broker, and it's not within my RERA guidelines to advise you on anything like this.
Fair enough, yeah.
But what I can say is, if you look at this document, yeah, you better fucking pay it.
Fair enough. Alright, so some questions then. And you may have just touched on it, sorry if you did. If you are an individual buying a residential property from a company that is VAT registered, do you have to pay that?
No.
Okay.
However, that company, if it's, yeah, it'll be part of their profits, I guess.
So the company will have to pay VAT?
Corporate tax.
They'll have to pay, right, okay.
They won't pay value added tax, like 5% or whatever, on this. But they might need to pay, it might contribute to their percentages at the end of the year.
And what about vice versa?
Within their audits.
If you're a VAT registered company buying a residential property from an individual,
you don't pay VAT on residential property in general.
Even if you're a VAT registered company?
But if you're a company, then if you're purchasing something, you won't pay VAT on residential because people don't pay VAT on residential. However, the profits that they gain from owning that, if they rent it or they sell it, are now part of their income stream.
What if they buy it with the intention of turning it into a commercial property?
To turn a residential property into commercial property, they'll need to pay for their approvals and all that, but once it's commercial, it's commercial.
So what about a residential property being sold by a VAT registered company and bought by a VAT registered company?
They don't pay VAT for the transfer of that property.
Okay.
But like I said, if they're selling it as a company and you know they sell and it contributes to their income, then they'll pay the corporate tax now based on that.
Fair enough. So basically, to sum up, if you're in the commercial world, go and get financial advice from somewhere.
Yeah, because when you're selling residential property, although you don't pay VAT on it, like I said, the profits that you make from that could contribute in terms of corporate tax if you are a company. But I don't know that for sure. But
because you're not a financial advisor.
I would 100% recommend getting a financial advisor. A good one though.
Yeah,
because
of course.
I went on to...
Not Mohammed from down the road.
I went to FTA and I looked at the tax registered agents. There's 400 pages of tax agents. And I called one up because I wanted some information. And he had the answers. He didn't want to tell me over the phone. So he says, listen, my service is blah, blah, blah. 750. I could barter with these guys if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I don't want to barter with someone who's good at their job.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I pay a price that gives me a good service, but it doesn't seem as simple as that. So I would get a lawyer first before I got a tax advisor.
Oh, okay.
Because the lawyers know the good people, and the lawyers can help you.
Yeah, they should have the connections.
In general, when it comes to...
Unless you end up getting a shit lawyer.
It's just fucking starting from the sticks and stones again. But yeah, I would recommend a tax agent.
Fair enough.
You do want to understand this stuff.
Yeah, you've got to, right?
Apparently money and tax and business and accounts and finance in general is a language. And it takes people like 5 years to crack it. And I've met with clients who are in the finance game and they said, it took me 5 years of hardcore studying, but once I cracked it, bro, I'm fucking in. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh Jesus, I said it like that. He says it's a language, and once you know how to speak it and work in the money world, then it's a different fucking ballgame.
Nah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, nice little bit on tax there. I don't have too much to add. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to say.
Well, yeah, so as a real estate agent and broker, it's not your job to know about tax. However, it's a valued added service if you know a bit more and you can advise on it. Speaking of which, if you cannot hack being a real estate broker, where'd you go, Josh?
Well, Daniel, You'd probably go into recruitment as a guess.
If you're a recruiter.
There's a great meme. Is it a meme? Would you call it a meme or a GIF or something?
Call it a meme, I guess.
A meme, yeah. Go on, do you want to describe it to us? You'll do it more justice than I will.
Okay, so the caption is, when you spend 3 months in real estate and you don't make a single deal. And then the guy in the video goes, the reason why I became a recruiter.
The three reasons why I became a recruiter.
The three reasons why I became a recruiter instead of a real estate agent is...
There was another great one that was like, you know, it's like the Muppet with the shifty eyes going like that.
Yeah.
I'll put it in, and it's like a little transcript between a client and a recruiter. And it goes, recruiter, you can make so much money as a real estate agent. Client, how much money did you make as a real estate agent? And then it's just the shifty eye thing like that.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant, man. I wrote this down because obviously I was in the job market, so I followed a load of recruiters on LinkedIn, and fuck me, mate. Like, I know they've got a job to do and all this sort of stuff, but the posts that they post on LinkedIn is ridiculous.
What kind of posts is
so
it?
They're all like paragraphs and paragraphs, right? And it'll be like, moving to Dubai was the best decision I've ever made. I've made a life for myself here. I've made so much money. This is where my home is. This is where my heart is. Dubai is the city for you. Then you go on their profile and it'll be, moved to Dubai 3 months ago or some shit like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm just sick of it, man. I'm just so bored of it.
I will admit though, it's like all professions, there's diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, of course, there are some really good recruiters out there. The good recruiters are the ones that have been here for 5+ years, though, I think. Anyone less than that, I think, is just...
Those who take the job seriously, it's not just targets, do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we've had a lot of talks about becoming a good broker is about becoming a consultant. And it's the same with jobs, right? They know they might have their niche in certain industries, but if they don't, then, you know, it's hard for them to understand totally every single kind of job, because they're not technically capable to understand the intricacies of certain job roles. Whereas if you specialised in industrial fucking construction, then you would know what kind of construction managers or whatever to target.
Yeah, exactly.
Likewise with, when it comes to real estate, it's a pitch. It's like selling. So, and fucking hell, there's a lot of agents out here. So for recruiters, if they can employ a lot of, or they find the companies to recruit for first. The big ones already have their HR department, but the smaller ones,
they hire externally. Yeah, exactly. But what I wanted to posit to you, Daniel, is seeing all these posts about, this is my home, this is where I want to live, all this sort of stuff. I've made it a home. I've only been here for 2 days, but it's my home now. Blah blah blah. Do you feel like Dubai is your home?
No.
So I sort of knew you were going to say that, and I would say 90%.
It's my home for now.
Yeah, 90% of people I talk to don't want to spend forever out here, right? The reason people are here are for, well, it is just opportunity is what it boils down to, right?
Yeah.
Like, the money you make here is near on impossible to earn that sort of money back in the UK. That's a pretty much fact.
There is this sort of like expat naivety though when it comes to money. For example, like, you start a career over here and you're splashing it all and, you know, going out in Dubai life, and it's very easy to get caught up in it. But what people don't realise is that, yeah, your wage is not taxed, right?
Yeah.
But listen to this. You've not got a fucking pension going on here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where are your savings going? It's very easy to just chillax, and yeah, you might have 100 quid at the end of the month, but you better fucking, you know, read the Expat Millionaire book.
Yeah, no, you've got to be sensible.
You've got to be, and a lot of people just aren't, man.
No, I totally agree with you, mate. I totally agree with you. But we briefly mentioned it last week, and I'm coming back round to it. If you're earning 25k a month out here, that's about £5,000 a month sterling in the UK, right?
Yeah. That's
in your back pocket. That's 60 grand a year in your back pocket. To be earning that in the UK to be taking home 60k a year, you have to be earning about 100 grand.
Yeah.
Your salaried job in the UK before tax has to be about 100 grand. Who's earning 100 grand in the UK? Doctors, lawyers.
High school teachers.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What are you fucking talking about?
High school teachers.
100 grand?
No, high school head teachers.
Maybe head teachers, yeah, but how many head teachers are there in the UK?
As many as there are schools.
Yeah, which isn't that many. Well, like, I couldn't go back to the UK now, and I'm not earning much at the minute, but I could not earn this much back in the UK. Like, what? Let's say you're earning 30 grand a year in the UK. You're only getting about 1,400 quid in your back pocket. Which isn't much. That's what, 10,000 dirhams?
There's ways and means of beating the system. Like, for example, my dad is a self-employed joiner, and he is getting absolutely fucked by the tax man.
Yeah.
Because he just does the village, but he audits everything. He just lets the tax man fuck him in the ass.
Arsehole. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, Dad, you know you get paid in cash. Like, what are you doing? Writing receipts.
But the alternative is you get fucked by the tax man in 5, 10, 15 years time, and then you're screwed.
How?
What do you mean how?
He
They'll
doesn't
look
know
at
how
your
much-
assets.
And my assets. His van's fucked. He needs to pay. He needs to pay for all his own equipment, right? He doesn't get, like, he can reduce his tax based on how much he needs to maintain his equipment and stuff and what's viable.
Yeah.
But even at that, it's like a business owner and blah 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 blah. He's getting absolutely ripped, man.
But that's my point. But if he was to come out here and do it, he would be fucking laughing.
Yeah, true. But well, no, not true, because he works wood, slate, stone, and all kinds of joinery and stuff. He wouldn't be working on these villas, mate.
No,
not with these blokes.
I know there was different sort of standards, but if you just look at it forget about what the industry is, just on finances alone.
Bad. If he was to come over to Dubai, if he wanted a good wage, he wouldn't be doing the actual construction work.
No, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Because they've got way too much people coming from abroad who are fine with very low wages.
The cheap labour, yeah.
So he would need to become said manager or company owner who would employ these people, and that's not my dad's style.
No, fair enough.
So
fair enough, mate. I just wanted to bring that up again. Talking of recruiters, it just pisses me off. Recruiters. You've got one last thing written on your page. I can't read it from
it
this
says
angle.
Google Maps, and that's you.
Oh yeah, fuck me. Just a rant, right? Google Maps does not work in downtown or Business Bay or any of that shit.
It does.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I had to do a half an hour journey from my house to it was actually Deira, but it was sort of like business. It was downtown end of Deira.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it was still downtown, but it's classed as Deira. Fuck me. It would come up on maps. It'd be like, keep left.
Did you pass Trade Centre?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! When you pass the Trade Centre roundabout and you keep going forward, that's when the roads get. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It just stops
No,
working.
I've taken the wrong road there 100 times. I used to work in the Deira Enrichment Project. I'd go up there all the time. Bro, I know exactly what you're saying. Go on.
Maps quite clearly says keep left to take this exit. Okay, I'm keeping left. And then maps go, recalibrating, you should have taken the third right. I'm like, what are you... But you said keep left.
Yeah, it goes like left, right, left.
But you
on
can't
Google
even
it says
anticipate it, man.
on Google it says take the next right, and then it has underneath it on the left as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So
what do you
go in the
mean?
next right, and then left doesn't turn out to be left, turns out to be
Yeah.
the middle or something. So
Mate,
yeah, it's
it
total
like
gamble.
doubled my journey time. You're like, what the fuck? And then you start trying to anticipate it. So then it'll be like turn left, and you'll be like, right, okay, looking at the junction coming up, that must mean turn right. And so then I'm like, right, maps, I'm going to fucking beat you on this one. I'm going to turn right. And then you're like, oh no, it actually meant turn left.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I hate it, mate. It does not work in downtown.
I've been there.
It does
It's
not
not downtown,
fucking
no,
work.
it's
Deira, whatever you
towards
want to
Deira,
fucking
yeah.
call it. It doesn't work.
Been
But
there.
yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Jesus Christ, it's been doing my head in.
And Waze used to be good, and then I realised that you couldn't share the locations on WhatsApp, and it just became outdated quite quickly.
Yeah.
Google Maps is your only hope right now.
and it's just shit.
But I reckon this 2GIS is coming out with something quality.
Oh, well, that's what all the delivery drivers use. So there must be something in it.
No, that 100%. If you go on Google and then compare it to 2GIS on an eagle's eye point of view, 2GIS is way superior.
Interesting. Maybe I'll have to give it a go.
On Google, you don't even see the buildings sometimes.
Yeah.
On 2GIS, they're there. And they've got a scalable 3D model of it that you can put up. And if you press in the building, you'll find out who works in there.
Fucking hell, that's a bit insane. That's quite
It's
insane.
excellent.
Yeah.
It's absolutely excellent.
No, I do know, because when I got lost using Google Maps, I had to ask a delivery driver, and he pulled out his 2Gs on his phone, and he was showing me it, and I was like, actually, this does look pretty good. But it's like the whole Android iPhone debate. You get so used to a certain interface that you then don't want to change.
Google
you
needs
know
to up their fucking game, man. But I didn't realise I could download an app, 2GIS. I just use it when I'm at work to either find companies in certain buildings and LinkedIn them, or just have a better look at a project.
Okay.
Because even shit that's not built yet, it'll be like a half-built building, you'll be like, fucking hell.
And it's still
I'm
got the
surprised there's
detail,
not
isn't it?
wee model crane sticking out. Like, it's pretty impressive, yeah.
Oh, that's all right. I'll check that out tonight then. Yeah, that's about it from my side. Dan, anything you want to add?
Why don't we sum up a little bit about what we talked about? So
God, this will make a change.
we talked about corporate tax. It's 9% in Dubai. That was effective as of June. Titanic, don't go and see it unless you want to sign papers that you might die or something. So just ignore it. Cotton buds, who gives a fuck? But at the same time, yeah, you probably should. I don't know.
It's false advertising.
Use them carefully. Interest in the UK. Apparently, they're trying to help them out over there. I hope it does.
No, this doesn't help them out. That was the whole point of it.
Oh, right, it doesn't help. Well,
This
that's
doesn't
useful.
help.
Dubai tax VAT, get registered if it's business, or if you're buying commercial property, just register yourself. And there's some cheap advice out there which from tax agents that are registered with FTA. Use their service. It's like 700 dirhams, and you can get some assurity in that. Recruiters, there are good ones and bad ones, just like real estate agents.
Yes,
And
true.
3 reasons why I became a recruiter instead of real estate agent. Do we know it's 3 reasons?
Yeah, because it's 3 months. You haven't made any money.
But
for the
why
3 months, so that's your
did
3
you listen
reasons.
to the video though? Like,
Yeah.
what was his 3 reasons?
Oh, it cut it off before he started
Ah.
speaking about it. Because the 3 reasons are he didn't make money in month
Right.
1, he didn't make money in month 2, he didn't make money in
Well,
month 3.
there you go.
You didn't understand what I mean, but fine.
There's nothing wrong with being a recruiter. I've met a few really cool ones.
Oh yeah, I know
Yeah.
some amazing recruiters, but it just pisses me off seeing all these stupid.
That's a bit of, it's like a rivalry between real estate agents and recruiters.
Just one more thing on that. I know recruiters that will post these posts about this is the place to be, blah 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 blah, when they're actively leaving Dubai because they hate it so much. It just does my fucking head in. Just be honest, man.
I suppose that would damage your credibility, right? Because if you're a recruiter and you say somewhere's good on your LinkedIn, and you go back home because it was actually shit, and then you start up a new job and I look at your LinkedIn profile, and then it's not going to be like, right, why did you leave real estate and go into recruitment? Why did you leave Dubai and come back to the UK?
Exactly.
Like, you're going to have to think of something else there.
Exactly.
Google Maps, up
Use
your game.
2Gs instead.
Use 2GIS. It's excellent. And I think that's about it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for listening as always. Like, comment, subscribe. We're back on the YouTubes now. We come straight out on the YouTube. Have you seen it? It's got quite a... Have you watched one of the latest ones?
It's just you adding me memes and faces in it, right?
No, I gave up on that because that was too much effort. But it's got this cool little... All I've got to do is press a button, and then it comes up with like the speech thing, like this sound wave thing. So yeah, we're on YouTube now. So like, comment, subscribe. Leave us a comment if you have anything that you want us to speak about. When you're listening to us on your podcast, please leave us a review. It goes a long way. And tell your friends about us, because that's how we get new listeners.
Thanks, everyone. Catch you later.
Thanks, guys. Adios, amigos.